Good morning, and again, welcome as we take a few moments to sit and speak to another one of the City of Rockford's heroes. So today with me for a brief chat, I have Mitch Leatherby. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Good, good. All right. So I'm so glad you're here today to give us information in regards to our street department.
Sure.
Right?
Thanks for having me.
So what is your position with the city?
I am the Street and Transportation Superintendent.
Okay, okay. So what exactly do you oversee, or what does that entail?
Yeah, there's a lot. So in Public Works, we have three major divisions. We have the Water Division, we have the Engineering Division, and then we have the Street Maintenance Division.
Okay.
So I oversee the Street Maintenance Division. That entails all street and forestry maintenance, traffic signal maintenance, traffic signs, any signage that you see within the right-of-way throughout the city we maintain, city-owned parking lots,
Okay.
and then we have more of our internal side, which would be our property and facility maintenance,
Okay.
our fleet maintenance division,
Wow.
and then central supply, which is our shipping and receiving department.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So when you say streets and signs, right? So when there is signs down or lights that are out, that falls
Right.
up under your.
That would fall under me, yeah. So that would be any request for a new street sign to be installed or
Okay.
replaced, or if there's a knockdown by a hit and run from a vehicle, we have staff that respond to those and get those signs back up.
Oh.
So same thing with any city-owned lighting.
Okay.
Our crews kind of do a little bit of both. They do some capital projects where there's new installs
Okay.
throughout town, but then there's the maintenance side too,
Okay.
responding to any outages or any issues with them not operating for some reason. Our staff would go out and troubleshoot, diagnose, and repair.
Okay. Okay. So and also do they maintain the lights like on the bridge when they change, or City Hall?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, both.
Both.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Morgan Street Bridge.
Okay.
That's a big one. There's the LED multicolor lights that are on a different program every month.
Okay.
And then same thing at City Hall. Yeah, all the up and down lighting.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Great. Great. So what do you enjoy about the position?
It's incredibly diverse. There's a
Okay.
lot going on
Okay.
all the time, and I think it's fun. Just the things that I just talked about just now. I mean, the tasks within those job duty assignments are they're never ending. So days go by very fast.
Okay.
Days, weeks, and months go by fast.
Right. Right. Isn't that true? How long have you worked with the city?
I started in 2014.
Okay. Okay. And you've started in streets as well?
I did. I was
Okay.
hired in as the forestry supervisor.
Okay. Okay. Well, congratulations to the promotion up.
Yeah,
right?
thanks. Yeah, I learned a lot in forestry and in working in the street department. In the administration building, it's the kind of the heart of the street division operation. That's still where my office is. So you really get to see a lot that comes in phone calls that come in. I mean, we are really the point phone call for any maintenance that oftentimes happens. Like if citizens call to request a pothole being patched, or a forestry issue, or a street light, or signal. There's a lot of different phone calls that we get and field, and you learn a lot of different parts of the city operation as a whole.
Yes.
When you have to figure out, okay, where does this call need to be routed to?
Okay. Now, when you say forestry, just explain a little bit about that. What does that entail?
Sure. So forestry. So a lot of people don't realize that we own, right? We take ownership of approximately 30 to 40,000 trees throughout the city.
Okay.
So that's going to be any tree that's between the curb and a sidewalk.
Okay.
So we have a whole department of tree trimmers and also maintenance workers that work alongside the tree trimmers to maintain the urban canopy.
Wow. Wow. That is a lot. A
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So tell me about what you do and why you do it.
So, what do I do? What do I do on a daily basis? It's different every day.
Okay.
I'll just give you an example of a meeting that I just came from.
Okay.
We in the forestry department are working on developing, first of all, taking an inventory of every tree, hiring a company to take an inventory of every tree that we have, the species, the size, the overall health. Also then identifying planting locations throughout town, taking all of that information and putting it into one comprehensive forestry management plan.
Wow, okay.
That plan will hopefully drive our operations moving forward. We look to get a lot of info from that so we can decide, what do we need to focus on in the next 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years. So you take this data and you take this plan. It's just a recommendation, is all it is from a forestry consultant. This is what they do for municipalities. We'll take that information and we can then plan, what do our operations look like moving forward.
Oh, wow.
So those kinds of things tend to happen on a daily basis, but then in the middle of that, we could get a phone call for a problem that we have, a sinkhole in the road somewhere, kind of drop what you're doing, and then go on site and see what's going on and how we need to address the problem. So it's ever changing.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was at Clem, maybe a few years ago, there were trees that were given out to residents.
Yeah.
Is that something as well?
That would have been the Arbor Day tree giveaway.
Okay, got it.
We did that. I think that was the first year that we did that. We have an Arbor Day celebration every year.
Okay.
That's part of our Tree City USA designation.
Oh, okay.
Is we don't have to, we like to do this stuff, but a community type sponsored event.
Okay.
And so we started doing these tree giveaways to the public and it was a huge success. So that's what we've done for the last couple of years.
Oh, nice. Okay, so what is one thing that instantly make your day better?
Fresh cup of coffee in the morning helps, generally.
Agree. I agree. I agree. Wake us up, ready to go, right? So without disclosing any confidential information, what is the fondest memory of working for the city?
Well, I'm trying to go through in my head of everything that's happened over the years. I think, working through COVID was pretty crazy. At an operations level, when you're trying to figure out how are we going to staff our operations right now. I mean, you talk about thinking outside of the box.
Right.
When you sit down, it's like, okay, there's no rules really in place. Like there's these guidelines, and how are we going to do this? It was crazy at the time. It was really stressful, kind of scary. Looking back on it, though, it was really cool to see how everybody came together.
Yeah.
Everybody, like every department of every employee in the city, from top to bottom, field workers even up, when we sat everybody down in a room and said, hey, this is what we're faced with. This is our plan moving forward. Everybody, after some Q&A, questions and answered, everybody was very supportive, and it was really cool to see the teamwork come together from that.
Right.
That was a pretty wild time. Hopefully we don't have to ever go through anything like that again. But it was really cool to see the teamwork involved to make that happen.
Yeah, I do. I remember, and you're correct, and everyone coming together to continue to provide the services that we still had to provide, to the residents. So, that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, Public Works is in that category of first responders oftentimes. There's a lot of critical, we maintain critical infrastructure for the city. The work still has to happen. So it was crazy but fun putting that plan together to make sure that we were able to deliver those services.
Okay. So now I'm going to chat a little bit about Mitch. All
Okay.
right. So we can get to know Mitch a little bit. Okay. So aside from necessities, what is one thing could you not go without throughout a day?
Being outside.
Being outside. Okay. So you love...
Or access to.
Access to outside. Okay.
Yeah.
So you love the nature.
Always been an outdoors person.
Okay. Okay.
I have a administrative type position, but it's flexible. It's on the go.
Right.
The field works outside.
Okay.
Most of what we do is outside. Not all, but a big portion of it. But I've always been an outdoors person.
Okay.
Every job I've ever had in my life was working outdoors.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of a good segue into this role. That's what, forestry is what I was hired into.
Right.
So I worked in the maintenance background, working outside, so it was kind of a natural transition through the years.
Right. Oh, that's really cool. And then this is what you love being outside, outdoors, and you get to work to do that. Excellent.
Yeah, when tornadoes come through and it's the middle of the night, I'm one of them out there. Assessing the damage, trying to get an idea of what are things looking like, what do we need to do here.
Right. Okay, so what do you consider is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
Family, for sure, yeah. no brainer. You know, my wife and my son, you know, when you kind of take a look at the experiences you've had in your life and going through something like that, having a family and the ups and downs, it's very gratifying.
Yes, yes, I have to agree. What is something that always makes you smile?
Probably my dogs when I get home.
Oh, okay.
Right? Probably. They're
Okay.
usually waiting for me at the gate, and even after a long, stressful day,
Right.
you know, it's like having pets, and anybody that has a pet could probably relate.
Relate.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter what happens, you know, they're always happy to see you.
Yeah. What is your favorite holiday and why?
My favorite holiday is probably Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I would say Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Why would it be Thanksgiving?
Yeah, always love to eat.
Oh,
Always
right,
love the food,
absolutely.
all of it,
Yeah,
every bit
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
You know, it's usually things that you get one time a year. So it's just a fun time of year, kind of segueing to winter. Actually, I love winter as well, so it's a good kind of lead in, you know, after the
Okay.
summer. I remember, you know, Black Friday was always fun. It was always fun going out shopping after Thanksgiving and
Okay.
stuff. I probably enjoyed looking at the ads in the newspaper more than actually going out shopping, which we don't have those anymore, really. But yeah, I always looked forward to that.
I worked in retail for years, so and
Oh, yeah.
you know, managing stores and stuff. So I
bet
never
it was
really
crazy.
enjoyed
I bet you didn't.
the holiday, right?
No.
So it's like Black Fridays because you're setting up, right? And
Yeah.
then Christmas Eve, right? And our stores were always open, and you're supposed to close at 5 or 7. Customers don't get out till 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Then you're back at 5 o'clock in the morning. So not until I got out of retail, I began to enjoy
Yeah.
those, right?
Appreciate
but
it.
I never do the Black Friday sales. My husband and my sons would go. I'm like, no.
I don't do it anymore
It's
generally.
like-
Or I wait till the crowds kind of die to do
Right.
that whole thing.
Exactly.
If I'm after something. But no, I
No,
don't
it's
get
like,
into the waiting in the line like
the
I
lines,
used to.
exactly.
Yeah.
I used to take my sons in the car and drive by and see the lines. And I'm like,
Scope it out.
Yeah, I remember not being able to open the doors. I used to ask the customers, I said, can you please back up so I can open the doors, right, so they can charge in. So what is the coolest place you've traveled?
When I graduated college, I did an internship in the Pacific Northwest. So I moved out to the state of Oregon.
Oh.
And that whole area out there in Central Oregon was probably one of the coolest places I visited.
Okay, okay.
And having lived there, you get to really experience some of the things that maybe normally as a tourist you wouldn't get to learn the town. And the things that the locals do, and it's a pretty fun place.
Okay, okay. What is your go-to comfort food?
So one thing I definitely missed when I was living out in Oregon was the pizza scene in Rockford.
Oh.
Just pizza.
Okay.
That would probably be my go-to.
Okay.
I don't eat it very often, right?
Right.
But it's one of those things where when I lived kind of far away, I would think about it a lot. You just can't get pizza like you can get around here.
Yeah, okay, okay. What makes Mitch unique, if there's anything?
Yeah, I think I bring a unique perspective, at least to, I don't know if this is operationally or anything, but I have, a unique perspective in life. I've been through a lot in life. I've had a lot of difficult times and experiences. And I think it gives you a different perspective sort of on life and what's important, things that matter.
Okay.
Maybe differentiating things that matter versus things that seem like they matter at the time, but maybe in the grand scheme of things, maybe don't so much. Kind of separating that out.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Which is a really good perspective, right? Help us to realize what is truly important.
Yeah.
Right. What are your hobbies?
Love to snowmobile.
Oh, okay.
Have a boat. We like to spend a lot of time kind of a water person, being
Okay.
out, right? So most of my hobbies are going to be things
It's
outside. It's
right.
going to be,
Race car driving,
anything,
right?
yeah, go-karting, right? Like
Go-karting,
all that
right,
stuff. I've always
exactly.
done it. My son's, big into motocross and riding dirt
okay.
bikes. I did the same thing growing up.
Okay,
So
okay.
have a lot of different hobbies. So trying to balance everything sometimes.
Oh,
can
yeah,
be tough.
yeah. And to keep, engaged in our hobbies, right?
Yeah.
That gives us that little moment of
Yeah.
extra so to speak,
Everyone needs a
happiness.
release of some
Yeah,
type to just do the
absolutely.
things that they love.
Absolutely. So, anyone watching, if you want to come after Mitch, right, for that goat cart, he's ready for you.
I'm ready. We were talking beforehand, and I'm going through those turns in my mind every night when I'm going to sleep, getting ready. The race is in a couple weeks.
Last question. How do you want to be remembered?
I think just in general, being somebody that makes their surrounding environment a little better.
Oh, excellent.
Just in that can be in small ways, or that can be in big ways.
Right, right.
And that can be at work, or that can be not at work.
Okay.
You know, just
Yep.
as a husband, as a dad, as a family member. You know, just I would like to be remembered as someone that just generally makes things just a little bit better, a little bit more positive.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, I thank you for spending a few minutes with me.
Sure. Thank you
and
for
getting
having me.
to know you
Yeah.
a little bit better. So, I don't know. I think I don't know if I'm gonna come after you for the goat cart.
You should.
Maybe
You should. You should come out.
I may come out.
It's
but-
it's an adrenaline rush.
I know.
That's for
I
sure.
know. I
It's
know.
fun.
Well, thank you again, and we appreciate you from administration, alderman. We appreciate everything you do.
Likewise. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you.